Well, today I have got a treat. I tried this recipe last week and the family loved it, and so I am going to make a whole bunch more so that I can have these in my pantry. And when you see what I'm doing, you're going to want some too. I am making homemade DIY RICE-A-RONI kits, the chicken flavor. Now, we all know that, okay, it's not that expensive in the store to get a box, but what all is in it? What I'm doing today is going to be the spices that we have already in our pantry, and rice and vermicelli, as they call it, or as I found at the store, this really cute cut spaghetti that is perfect for this. So let's get started, and like I said, when you see this, you're going to be like, okay, I want some of that too. And what I've done, guys, is I have washed some of my regular mouth mason jars to make my kits in. I am trying to get to where with all of my canning that I'm using the wide mouth. Y'all know what I mean. The wide mouth is just so much better for chicken and beans and everything. But I've got a lot of these, and so I'm thinking this will be perfect for this. So, you know, that's what I'm going to use. It's what I've got. It's what I'm going to use. If you don't have mason jars, you could obviously do this in baggies and just label it. But this is what I have, and I just think this will work good, because my plan is to, after I get all of these assembled, and I plan on doing 12, after I get these assembled, I'm going to use my food saver to, you know, to suck all that air out of them, and then I can keep them on my shelf. So here we go. The first thing that the recipe calls for is a cup of rice. Now, I am using, I got this, because y'all know I like my Sam's and my Costco and all that. This is parboiled. Now, some recipes tell you not to use parboiled. I used this last week, and it worked fine. I mean, it worked great. It tasted better, and the consistency was better than the box stuff. And so this is what I'm using. If you don't want to use this, then you could use, you know, some other kind, but this is what I'm using. I want a cup of this. I'm going to see if I can get this in this big old bag. Y'all, I've got to where I'm always buying these big bags now. The thought of going back to like a little small bag of rice or one of those boxes, I just can't do it. Okay, so I'm going to get my box. I hope it's all going to go in there okay. I might have needed a funnel. You know what? Let me find a funnel. I think I need a funnel. I'll be right back. Okay, so that was one of those things where you learn from my mistake and then you won't make it. So, 1 cup of rice. And then, this is just the cutest spaghetti. And I found this at Walmart. And I'm going to need half a cup of this. It's Fideo. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say it wrong if I try to say it. But look at it. It's just like the little vermicelli. Now, if you can't find this, just get you some spaghetti and just cut it. You know, just tear it off. You can't cut spaghetti, but just tear it off into little pieces. But look at that. Is that not precious? I think that's the cutest thing. Anyway, I'm going to put that in there. And I want to make sure that I get these where they're down, because I am going to need some room for my spices. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to do repeat the same thing, minus spilling rice on my little mat right here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this, and then when I get through with this, I'll show you my spice mixture, because you got to have those spices if you're going to make DIY RICE-A-RONI inspired chicken kits, right? I'll see you in just a minute. I ran out of this. It was so easy too, because all I had to do was just put it in my cup. But never fear, well-stocked pantry always has spaghetti noodles. I'll be right back. Okay, so I found some more spaghetti in the pantry. Yay! So now I've got to do a little bit of extra work, that one extra step. But you know what? I don't care, because this is still going to save me time. When I can make 12 RICE-A-RONI packages for pennies, and all I got to do is break up some spaghetti, which, come on, let's admit it, that's fun anyway. Then why not? And I'm just breaking them up about like that. You can break them up a little bit shorter, longer, whatever you want to do. But I'm not being too exact with it. When it goes in my belly, it won't care, right? Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut up some more. How many have I got? I only got 5 more, so I won't need that much. What I'll probably do, so that I don't do way too many, is I'll probably do a half a cup at a time. That makes sense, doesn't it? I'll do about a half a cup of these at a time, because that's how much I need per kit. And some of these, I don't want them to be too long. I want them to be about the same size as the ones that I had in that box. I'm telling you though, if you can find that box of somebody's gonna have to tell me how you say that, because I don't know. How do you pronounce that? Anyway, and my hands are clean too, but I am going to probably don't even need that if I'm just doing this see how you just learn things as you're in the middle of doing. You're like, now I got that, I'm gonna have to wash. Well, dishwasher. Anyway, so I'm gonna continue on, and when I get through with this, then I'll be back. notice that I got on different clothes. Well, the apron's the same, shirt's different, I look different. It's the next morning. My camera died, the battery went out. And so, what do? You go on and put your caps on, your rice and vermicelli spaghetti mixture, and you go cook supper. I mean, and then you just, like, you got to give the camera time to recharge, just like we have to have time to recharge. So now it's 100%, and we're ready to continue on. So, I've got my pasta / rice mixtures in here. Now, it's really hard to tell which ones were which. This one that looks a little bit bigger was the spaghetti that I had to break up, and so you can tell it doesn't settle as well because everything's just different sizes of spaghetti. But the one where I had the spaghetti already mixed up, it settled pretty good. But that doesn't matter because you're going to have enough room. The next thing we've got to do is, if you notice when you buy the store-bought stuff, you have the little seasoning packet. Well, that's the next thing that we're going to make, and that is just so simple. And what I did was I just got these little cheap snack baggies, and as you use these, you can just reuse them again and again and again as long as you keep making these. What we want to do is we want to take 4 teaspoons of a chicken bouillon. I have the Knorr brand because it's just what I had. It's what I got at, where did I get this? I either got this at Walmart or Sam's. But anyway, you want to have 4 of these. Simple. Next, you want a teaspoon of dried parsley. Even better if you have your own. I don't have my own at the time, right now, because I didn't grow any parsley. And then you want a ½ teaspoon of an Italian seasoning. Now, if you have your own, great. If you don't, then good old McCormick's works. And then you just want a little bit of garlic to it, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. And if you're not really a garlic person, you could just do like a dash, or you could omit it, but I mean, it's garlic. And then you just mix that up, and it's going to mix. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of roll it up like that, and then all I'll have to do is just put it in with my mix, with my pasta and rice, and there you go. Instant RICE-A-RONI inspired side dish. I'm making 12, so that means if I use this every week, that was my microwave going off. If I use this every week, I have a side dish once a week for the next 3 months. I don't know that I'll use it every week, but it'll be good. What I'm going to do next to these is I'm going to use my food saver, and I'm going to, I'm going to food saver these with the dry attachment so that they'll be airtight. Let's do one more. Oh, and to make this, you're simply going to, it's basically the same recipe as what you have in the box. You're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter or oil, or you can omit it if you want, but it's just 2 tablespoons. And you're going to put that in your skillet along with your rice and pasta, and just like you do when you're making the store-bought stuff, you're going to mix that up until it kind of gets a little bit of that nutty, kind of a golden brown. You'll know what I'm talking about. And then you're going to add to it, after it gets that nutty, kind of, like it's kind of, y'all know what I mean, you know how it does. You're going to add about 2 3/4 cup of water, and then you're going to add your mix, your dry seasonings with that. You're going to mix that up, and then you're going to bring that to a boil. I'm looking at my recipe too. And you're going to reduce that heat to low, and you're going to cover it. Sounds just like the box, doesn't it? And then you're just going to cook it for 15 to 20 minutes, you know, and just stir it occasionally. And then you're going to just leave it like that, stir it occasionally until the water's absorbed. And you're going to have great side dish. And it really, to me, it tastes better than the store-bought stuff. But, you know, that's just me. And I'm using things in my pantry. And, oh, where'd you go? You went in that one. Anyway, remember, it's 4 teaspoons. And I'm going to write all of this down for you in the comments, too. It's 4 teaspoons of your chicken bouillon base, and then you're going to add 1 teaspoon of the dried parsley, and then you're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and then just about an 1/8 or a dash or omit, or just a, you know, just a shake if you want to do that, of garlic powder. Seal that puppy up, give it a little mix to kind of get them all together. Roll that thing up like you would a tortilla. Oh, don't do like I did. Make sure that your little baggie is totally sealed. Oh, and make sure the air is out of it too. Okay, maybe we ought to do it this way. Roll it up. Feel like I should say roll it up, throw it in the pan. It's kind of like what we're doing, isn't it? Anyway, roll that up, stuff it in, and there you go. I mean, y'all, and this stuff tastes good, because we had it the other night. And I was like, because I wanted to test it out, make sure that I liked it, make sure that, you know, if there was any adjustments, which I did make a few adjustments to the recipe that I found. And y'all, it is really good. You do this with some chicken and some green beans, maybe some homemade biscuits. Oh my gosh, y'all, that sounds so good, doesn't it? I'm a little hungry. It's almost lunchtime. Anyway, I said all that to say you're going to love this, because this is really good. Anyway, I'm going to continue on making these little packets. And then when I come back, I'm going to show you all my pretty stuff. Oh, and by the way, I was going to tell y'all this. What I do is I'm going to label these probably with like just a little tag. I'm just going to use some twine, use a little tag, nothing's fancy. And just, you know, attach it to it. And I have I keep a notebook. This is my notebook. Well, one of my notebooks. You know how that goes. I got like 2 or 3 notebooks that I keep stuff in. But this is my notebook that I like to keep, my recipes in, that I'm working on, you know, or that I'm trying. And, I've got the recipe here. If you get your notebook and you can keep your recipe in here, and you can do some kind of a system to where when you have these kits and say you need your husband or a, you know, kid or whatever to make it, if they know where to refer in your notebook, then they'll know what to do. Or if you want to, you can get fancy. I started to do that. I thought about making labels on my Cricut, like the Cricut cutting machine, not like a trained Cricut. So anyway, I thought about making real pretty, you know, little tags with the instructions and all. But I said, nah. I haven't got too many other things to do. But I am just gonna make a put a little piece of twine. I've already said this, I know. Put a little piece of twine and put what it is, you know. And what you could even do if you're really, really organized, unlike me, but this is a good idea, and one day maybe I'll do it, is if you have a notebook and you laminate your recipes, and you could, like on your tag, you could put, okay, homemade chicken rice-a-roni, or if you want to call it something else, you know, so that it's not the brand, but we all know what it is. But if you want to, you know, whatever you want to name it, and this can go for any kind of kit, DIY, side dishes, or whatever that you need instructions for, on that tag, have a corresponding page number, like page 15. And then in your notebook, where you have all of your recipes, on page 15, the family member knows to go to page 15 to see the instructions on what they need to do. There you go. There's that. Just an idea. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to continue making these because I need to wrap this up. Lord, I didn't know it was going to take 2 days to just make some DIY little side dishes. But you know what? It's worth it. It is so worth it because, like I said, 12 of these, at least 3 months worth of a 1 week side dish. If I do it every week. I won't do it every week. But anyway, I'm going to continue on, and I'll see you in a minute. So there you go, guys. 12 RICE-A-RONI kits, chicken, ready for your side dishes. So easy. Remember, I'll have the instructions and the ingredients in the comments. Leave me a comment and tell me if there's anything that you make that's DIY kits like this. Excuse the background. Clothes are washing and it's just a regular day here. Anyway, if you would give me a like, if you'd share the video, if you'd subscribe, click that notification bell. I want to know that you're watching what I'm doing, that I'm helping you in any way. And as always, I thank you for your support. Alright guys, on to the next. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.